A silent night in Lagos. The streets of Lagos bustled with Christmas energy, vendors shouting, music echoing from street parties, and neon lights blinking in every direction. Amid the noise, Adora stood at the edge of the Third Mainland Bridge, her heart heavy with indecision. She clutched a red scarf, a relic from a love she thought she had buried. "Excuse me," a deep voice cut through her thoughts. She turned sharply, and there he was, Obinna, his eyes, still as piercing as the day they had parted 12 years ago. The world seemed to freeze around them. "Ada," he whispered, as if doubting his own eyes. She couldn't speak. Memories flooded back. Afternoons spent laughing under mango trees, whispered promises during Harmattan nights, and the devastating day their families tore them apart. Obinna's father, a proud businessman, had declared that no son of his would marry a girl from the other side of the tracks. Adora's mother had sparked similar venom, warning Ada to never dream beyond her station. Yet here they were, two strangers in the city they once called home, bound by a love that refused to fade. Obinna suggested coffee, his voice trembling with a mix of hope and fear. They found themselves in a small cafe tucked away in Victoria Island, away from prying eyes. As they spoke, the years melted away. Adora learned of Obinna's struggles abroad, forced into a loveless engagement by his family's demands. Obinna held of her dreams deferred and the weight of caring for her ailing mother. But happiness was fleeting. A dark SUV idled outside the cafe. Adora spotted it first. "They found us," she whispered, her voice trembling. Obinna's jaw tightened. His brother, Uche, stepped out of the car, flanked by two men who looked like they belonged in action movies, not the bustling streets of Lagos. "Adora, come with me," Uche ordered, his voice icy. "You don't own her," Obinna snapped, shielding Adora. "This isn't about you, Obinna," Uche growled. "It's about the family. You're risking everything." The lovers fled into the Lagos night, navigating the maze-like streets of the city. Their only refuge was the rooftop of an unfinished high-rise, where they could see the city lights stretch endlessly. "Ada, we can leave," Obinna said, his voice desperate. "We can start over, far from here." Tears glistened in her eyes. "And run forever. How long before they find us again?" As the sounds of approaching footsteps grew louder, Adora made a choice that would change everything. Would their love survive the night, or would family ties and societal expectations tear them apart once more? As footsteps echoed closer, Adora clutched Obinna's hand tightly. "Before anything else happens, I need you to know something," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "The reason I couldn't reach you all these years wasn't just our families. It was because," she paused, the weight of her secret hanging heavily between them. Obinna's brows furrowed. "Ada, what is it?" "I had your child." The words hit Obinna like a freight train. "What?" he stammered, his voice cracking. "You had? Where? How? Why didn't you tell me?" Adora's eyes brimmed with tears. "They threatened to hurt you if I ever tried to contact you. I couldn't risk it. Our son, his name is Kelechi. He's with my aunt in Ibadan." Before Obinna could respond, Uche's voice rang out from below. "Enough of this hide and seek. Come down now, or we'll drag you out." Obinna's mind raced. He couldn't let their families control their lives any longer. "We'll leave tonight," he said firmly. "But first, we'll go to Ibadan and get Kelechi. No one can stop us." Adora hesitated. "Obinna, they'll hunt us down. They'll try," he said, determination blazing in his eyes. "But I won't lose you again. Not this time." They descended the high-rise carefully, sticking to the shadows. With the chaos of Lagos nightlife as their cover, they maneuvered their way to a waiting cab. Obinna's friend Chidi, a tech-savvy hacker, had arranged for a fake plate to ensure their escape. Hours later, As the first light of dawn painted Ibadan's streets, Adora and Obina arrived at her aunt's modest home. Kelechi was there, fast asleep on a mat, his innocent face a mirror image of Obina's. Obina knelt beside him, tears streaming down his face. "He's beautiful," he whispered. Adora smiled through her own tears. "He's yours." But their reunion was short-lived. Tires screeched outside, and voices barked commands. Their families had found them. "Stay inside," Obina ordered, his voice calm but resolute. He stepped out to face the crowd. Uche was there, along with Adora's elder brother, Nnamdi, and several other family members. "This madness ends now," Uche barked. "No, it ends when you stop controlling our lives," Obina shouted. "I love Adora, and I will not apologize for it." "And what about the shame you bring to our family?" Nnamdi retorted. "The scandal, the disgrace. It's Christmas," Obina said, his voice softer now. "A time for love, forgiveness, and second chances. Can't you see this is what fate wants? What God wants?" As tension hung thick in the air, an unexpected voice spoke up. Kelechi, wide-eyed and holding his mother's hand, stepped into view. "Why are you all shouting?" he asked innocently. The sight of the boy, their blood, their legacy, broke something in the hardened hearts of both families. Uche looked at Kelechi, then at Obina. "This is your son." "Yes," Obina said firmly. "And he deserves to grow up in a world where love isn't a crime." Adora's mother, who had arrived moments earlier, stepped forward. "Ada, if you're happy, that's all that matters." Under the glow of Christmas lights, the families came together for the first time, tentative but willing to try. Adora and Obina held each other tightly, knowing that love had triumphed against all odds. That Christmas night, as carolers sang in the distance and fireworks lit up the sky, they sat together as a family, Adora, Obina, and little Kelechi, ready to write a new chapter of their lives. Kindly subscribe for more African tips.